Hello, everyone. Good evening. It's 7 p.m. again today, Thursday of October, which is the 14th of October, 2020. We're back again with our author of the month, which is Sharon Fevrier. I think I pronounced it a little bit better this time. I've been practicing that all day. So, Sharon Fevrier. So, she's the author of the month, and she's going to be telling us about her book. Yes, you're welcome back again. So this is Susanna Olatunji Kamalafe on Conversation with Susanna on Afro-Caribbean Lifestyle and Achiever. And this event is powered by the Afro Diaspora Center. This is one of our projects to support African Caribbean authors here in Ireland and within London Island and the UK. We cover those areas to support, this community of authors in sharing their story with you and me and with everyone. And just to get to have a one-on-one conversation with them and to continue to celebrate Africans that are authors here and doing well, you know what I mean, doing well. So again, like I said, I have our author of the month. Her name is Sharon Fevrier. I think I got it right, and she is really excited about that. Sharon, you're welcome. You've been
Thank you.
having a laugh at me.
Thank you so much. Yes, my name is Sharon Fevrier. Thank you, Susanna. Big improvement, big improvement.
Yeah.
So, I am the author of Blossom Tree, and this is my book that I wrote and I published on the 15th of March 2018. So, it's my third year now of being an author.
Thank you so much for that brief introduction. We've been having fun with you. We're excited to know that you're celebrating with us this month of uh, October, and that you are the author for the month for this month. Now, there's something I know that is significant for you for this month that you would like to talk about, and that is the Black History Month, which takes place in UK. And being an African author, you will, it's a delight that we have an opportunity like this to be broadcasting and being in the global space, and to share your story with everyone. So tell us what it is for you as an African author. How do you think you deal with that?
It's wonderful to be embraced by people from all cultures, all religions, all races. I believe that Blossom Tree is a book universally for everybody. It's not just for Black people. However, what I would say is that the main characters, Chantel and Andre, in my fiction book Blossom Tree, are Black characters, and they are based in London, and also some of the story is based in the Caribbean. So I think it's really good to have a book and have different books that reflect our culture, that reflects the people that we are, the lives that we live on a day-to-day basis. Maybe we can't all relate to going on a horse, getting on a horse or getting on a boat and all that kind of thing, but we can relate to being in a city and in a city and finding love and trying to match ourselves to somebody who we think is a right choice for us. We're all human at the end of the day. But I think it's really wonderful that we have this platform to be able to talk about ourselves as Black authors. We all know that, you know, Black authors who are self-published, myself, may not get the type of airplay, may not get the type of publicity that, you know, other authors may get, and they may have preferential treatment for whatever reason. But now it's time for us Black authors to step up and actually write our own story. We don't have to write stories about other people. We can just write stories about ourselves. We can write about our feelings, poetry about how we feel. We can write self-help books based on our culture and our identity, because we can't always identify with people from other races in different, you know, just think about the food that we eat. Sometimes on a Sunday we cook different types of food than maybe people from a different race or ethnicity. And so it's about embracing who we are and showing the world who we are, and we're not going away, we're here to stay. That's what Black
Yes.
history is for me, to me. Yeah, that's what it
Yeah,
is.
thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. Today, we're going to be talking about disaster dating to a romantic relationship. You know, when you have a date that you can say, like, I'm sure there's so many people out there that can relate to this, that they've gone on a dating and they know that this is disaster. Like, I'm not going back to this. This is not going to happen again. And from that kind of relationship, imagine having that kind of that kind of disaster dating to a romantic relationship. Your book has tell a story of how it is possible to find yourself in dating relationship, you know, to go on a date with someone whereby you just lost all hope, but at the same time you can end up with a romantic relationship unexpectedly. Your book is out there, you know, it has so many platforms for people to go and get it. Now, before we start talking about these disaster dating, because I'm getting like everybody will like to jump on it, so tell us about where people can just go and get your books.
So Blossom Tree is available at all online major retailers. So even Apple Books, Kindle Books, you can get it on paperback on Amazon. There's a bookshop in North London called New Beacon Books. It's Black owned. So I encourage you, if you are in London or in England and you can actually get to Finsbury Park in London, go to New Beacon Books. There is a plethora of different types of books, um, but mainly written by Black people. You can also DM me either on Facebook. My Facebook page is Blossom Tree Love. Obviously, you can find me on Facebook, Sharon Fevrier, as well. I have a website where you can contact me. And also, my Instagram is ms_Sharona. So if you DM me, I can get you a signed copy as well.
So now tell us about this disaster dating.
You know, we've all been in different situations where we have a quest. We're on a quest to find love. We want to find love, and you know, many of us are a little bit rusty. We've been in our long-term relationships. We've come out of that relationship, and we're moving on. We're trying to find love again. But there are many broken hearts out there. So many broken hearts. But also, we're all quite rusty. You know, when you're starting again, it's like, oh, what do you do when it comes to dating? What do you wear? Where do you go? Is it just an initial coffee, or are you going to have a meal? Then, if you have a meal, who pays? You know, I think there's many situations where even myself, I've been on dates where, you know, it's been a bit awkward, and you know that that person isn't quite right. Something's not quite right, and when they push the bill over to you, it's like, well, why have you pushed the bill my way? You know, it depends who's eating, who is eating, who's not. What I would say about Blossom Tree is that my main character, Chantel and Andre, well, they dated and they went on many dates. And um, before Chantel met Andre, she was young, free spirited, enjoyed life, enjoyed fun, being, you know, independent, doing whatever she wanted to do. And then she met Andre and dated. You know, they would go rollerblading, they would do things together, they would be happy together, they would go for meals, etc. And these are the things that you do in the beginning of a relationship, and you get to know each other. You take your time, you don't rush. But what I would also say is when you do decide to start dating somebody, there are certain do's and there are certain don'ts. One of the do's I would say, for example, be punctual. People don't really, how do you judge somebody who turns up maybe 20 minutes, half an hour late for your first date? What would you do? Would you wait around, or would you think about going inside the venue, sitting and waiting for that person? Or would you say, nah, it's half an hour, it's done, I'm gone? Communication is really key if you are going to be late, of course. You have to communicate with the person. And so they, where you're at, that person knows where they're at as well. Ask
Now,
questions.
Sharon, the way you were talking about going on a date,
Yes,
and you spoke about who pays, like, for me, that's just not a conversation. That's my own belief.
of
And I
course.
know, and I've come to, I think it's until I got to the Western world. That was when I felt that people have that conversation about who pays. Or to me, all through when I was growing up as a child, going on a date with a guy, you just don't need to ask that question. They pay you because they are men. They're taking you out on. They are the one taking you out on a
On a
dating.
date. Yep.
Yeah.
You're
So, and
absolutely
yeah,
right.
yeah, exactly. And to my belief as I was growing up is that men, uh it's a man that pays because you are meant to be this kind of special thing that is has the opportunity or privilege to be with. So it is his responsibility to pay. And I say to myself now that I'm here, my sons will pay when they go on a dating with any girl. Like, I make that, no, you pay. You are the boy. You're taking her. That shows that you care about her. Now, I don't know what other people think. I don't know what you're thinking yourself, but that's my own opinion with regard it. It's just not a conversation. Like,
You
why
know,
should I pay?
Susanna, it shouldn't be a conversation.
Yeah.
It should be pretty straightforward in my mind. Don't get me wrong, I didn't burn my bra. So, I still want that man to be chivalrous. I want a man to open doors for me. I want a man to, open a car door, open the restaurant door, but I have encountered people that don't have that same kind of um, knowledge and understanding about what women want with regards to dating. We still want to feel special. Yeah, we still want to be able to be treated as a queen when we're in these kind of situations. But and I've been in this situation where someone's literally slid the bill over to me because I had food, though he had snacks as well, but I had the majority of the food. And I thought to myself, no. So in the end, after a bit of discussion and talking to this person, he ended up paying. But I was never to see that person again. I would never put my
That
so
was it. That is one of those kind
once
of disaster relationship, like
well,
disaster dating.
well, the thing is, in life we still, us women, we still want men to be providers. So if you can't even provide for me on a first date, how are you going to provide for me in the future when something happens and I need you to help me out financially, or I need you to be there physically? How are you then a provider? You're not showing me that you can provide. You're showing me that you want someone else to look after you. You don't know the etiquette when it comes to dating. And that's not the type of situation we want to find ourselves with. And though, it's easy to try to do our best to try and vet someone through, talking to them and spending time over the phone, etc. But it's not until you're face to face with that person do you really get a little bit more of an understanding of what that person's like. It takes time. And this particular person I met while online dating. And I tend not to do online dating, but this person I did meet online and I recognized quite quickly that actually he wasn't the type of person for me. So, what I will also say is when you do go out on dates, carry your Vex money because you might
Yeah,
find that
you
you're in a
might find
situation
yourself,
you want to go, you want to leave, you want to wait for that phone call, your friend, you set it up so that your friend calls you at a particular time. Oh, I've got to go. Oh, okay. And then you leave.
and then you like, anyway, for me, first dating, like, it's a must. That's the way I see it. Now when we get to know each other, and we are in, we've gone out to, let's say, 1 or 3 4 dates together, then I can pay. I don't have any problem then paying, because I feel that now we got to know each other.
You're
uh
invested.
I at least have a bit of confidence that you can pay. So if I'm paying, I'm just reciprocating the love back to you, to say, I'm not putting this burden on you alone. Like, I can share with you as well. Because I believe that in any relationship, love, when you say you love someone, so love is about sharing. It's about sharing everything you have. So I'm not afraid to share, but I don't want to go on a date with you for the first time and then you just expect I have to do the paying for the meal.
No.
So tell me, what is the experience of this? What other experience do you think we can refer to as disaster dating, just as we're talking about? And I know your book has a lot that people can go. When people buy that book, Blossom Tree, if you're thinking of what are we talking about, we're talking to the author of Blossom Tree. So you can pick it up online in any, there's a lot of platform. We have it in our chat there that you can pick it. But when you just put Blossom Tree by Sharon Fevrier, yeah, I got it.
Yes.
Fevrier, yeah. You the spelling is there, guys. Go and check it. When you put it there, you can get the book. So I know we say we're talking about disaster dating, to a relation, a romantic relationship. So how did this romantic something then began to surface?
Well, it takes time, I would imagine. Sometimes you instantly click with someone, you go on a date and you feel like there's a connection. And not only are you physically attracted to that person, and sexually,
You are intimate,
but you've
you
got,
have this kind of, intimate,
yeah, you
romance
intellectually,
period.
you might
Yeah.
have,
Connected with them. Yeah.
connection. That's right. And I think that's really important. But sometimes, unfortunately, we have to kiss many frogs to get to that point where we do meet somebody that we're able to say, yeah, we can take it further, we can take it forward. And like I said in my book, Blossom Tree, very quickly, Chantel felt that she had a connection with Andre and they started to move their relationship forward. But what I would say, Blossom Tree is not a romantic book. It's more of a thriller. It's not so much the romance, but the romance starts in the beginning. And, many of us want to hold on to that romance. We do want to hold on to that romance. But can you imagine being in a situation where you're on a date
Yeah.
and the whole time you're on a date, he's talking about his ex partner?
Those
Can
kind
you
of men, they are trouble.
they still have their trauma, they're carrying
And
their
then I think they
past.
need to go back to that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or they just need to get some counselling, but unfortunately, many of our people um, choose not to go that route, choose not to maybe have therapy. But it could be that there's a blockage and they're not able to move forward, and the new person sitting in front of them has to endure them talking about their ex partner all the time, and
All the time.
it's a put off. It's a put off completely.
It
But
puts
can
you
you
off,
imagine?
especially on the first date. That's just like,
It's a
okay,
no no.
are you interested in me, or are you still thinking of what you left behind? Yeah. And
Or
you know that sometimes, until a man starts a new relationship, that they start dating, then they realize how, like, that, wow, they still want what they left behind, because they
yeah.
just can't move on. And
And also, I would say, well, also, the fact that they've been rejected by their ex partner puts them in a feeling of uncertainty, whereas maybe they've been certain throughout the whole relationship, and then all of a sudden they've been rejected. Their ex partner doesn't want them anymore. They carry that trauma with them because they think, well, why not? Why didn't we make it work? Why didn't she give me a chance? Well, there's reasons for that, but you don't want to be bringing that into your new relationship. That's for
yeah,
sure.
you don't want to bring it, but like you're saying, I actually agree with you that, that was why I was saying that, until sometimes it's until they actually go on a date, and they start talking to that new person, and they're doing everything they can to show the new person that, look, I'm a good person, or I do care about you, and they can see that they're trying so hard to prove that, and then they realize that this is just because of the experience they've had,
Yeah,
and that is why they have to keep pushing. And it could happen to a lady as well, you know that, you know.
of course, of course. Another thing, meeting somebody, going on a date, and realizing that person is arrogant and continuously brags about what they have, what they do, where they live, what car they drive, how many holidays they've been on. Actually, it's also superficial. Don't you really want to get to know? Maybe when we were a lot younger, we'd be wowed, we'd be wooed by whatever they're saying. But at this stage where we're experienced, we're grown, we're mature, we want to know someone's character. We want to know if in 10 years' time we will still be together, still be talking, still be, embracing each other in a relationship. But meeting somebody who has a certain amount of arrogance is again a put off. So
Is
you
a
have to
put
be
off,
very
yeah.
careful with how you're saying things about yourself, your achievements, etc. It's great to be proud and confident about who you are, what you've got, etc. But that's not everything about you. What's in your heart? What about your family, your friends? What about your passion, your desire for the future? You know, what about your fears, your anxieties? Talk about those. Not necessarily on the first date. You want to scare somebody off, but with time you'll get to know somebody and you'll be able to, have that kind of conversation.
Yeah.
But initially, don't brag. Don't brag about anything.
And I think first date should just be about knowing each other rather than about you. It should about both of you just trying to get to, like, say, like, get to know each other. I
Yeah,
want to get to know you, you want to get to know me. Just general talks on things that you really like, that you want to know about somebody when it comes to a relationship. So
yeah,
let's say when you wake up in the morning, what do you love to do?
yeah.
um what
Also,
kind of food,
yeah.
what kind of
Okay,
clothing,
family values. Does
family values, and
does
all
he
those kind of
even
things.
like his mother? Does he even like his mother? If he doesn't, red flag.
That is something, yeah, but yeah, that is something that is unusual. But if he doesn't, then that's a problem for you. But it doesn't mean he won't love you anyway, because
No,
because the reason for not loving his mother could be something that has been rooted down to his own trauma, or what or it has happened. Because it's totally unusual when you find somebody that they don't really care about their mom or parents. It could be based on trauma or something that they've experienced. Wow.
absolutely,
Mm.
absolutely. But it is something to be aware of.
It is a big
What kind
red
of
flag. That
respect?
is a big red
Yeah.
flag. Yeah.
Does somebody have respect for women? Just listen to how that person is speaking, and
Yeah.
listen to how
That's
he speaks about other women. Does he
Oh,
have?
that is something I just don't like about any man. I can actually fall in love with a man that, that has this kind of humility in them.
Yeah,
They are very humble. That is something that really attracts me to a man. Very humble. It just is something that extremely attract me to someone when I see that they're humble. They the way, and the way they talk, the way they, I just can't stand any man that brings a woman down, because I
of
always say to
course.
myself that if they show this kind of a character from the beginning, they will treat you just like that,
Yeah.
because that's the way
With
they
time,
see
it will
you.
happen. Yeah.
That's the way they see you. The only time they will be good to you is when there's anything that sweetens their heart. After that, they just see you like any other woman, and they treat you just like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
But
yes,
but
go ahead.
I've put more about this in my blog, my recent blog.
Yeah,
So
that's what I wanted to say. That that yes, to say, like, you put up just your recent blog, which we already have on all our social media. And for those of you that doesn't, you can go to our Facebook page, which is the African Caribbean Authors Island. We have a Facebook page which you can go on to, and you see the blog there. It's there. I'm going to put it as well in this chat there live for you guys to go and have a look at it. So tell us about this blog. Tell us about it.
so with regards to this blog, my blog, dating disasters versus romantic relationships. It's about what things you can do, little tips that you can embrace really when it comes to dating, i.e., be punctual, don't brag, don't be arrogant, don't talk about your past and your previous relationship don't be over the top about it. So there's nice little nuggets within the blog that will help you if you are a little bit rusty, you haven't been on a date in a while, we've been in lockdown, so we've been in a different kind of state and a different state of mind. Take your time to get to know someone, be curious about them, ask them questions. So, my blog kind of goes into all of these different elements about things you can do when you're dating and you're dating for the first couple of times, just trying to get to know people again. So I encourage you to read it just to get some ideas. And of course, it relates slightly, somewhat to my book, Blossom Tree, where my couple, Andre and Chantel, dated and then embraced into a relationship. They grew and blossomed into a relationship. But then what happens next is to be told. You'd have to
Yeah.
read that yourself.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. And this the blog itself is just a little tip for every one of us to just go and have a look at. It will give us a tip really into this about how do you handle dating, especially when you're going on your first date. And like you said, the lockdown, there hasn't been anything much happening. A lot of people just realized that it's difficult to date during lockdown. So, and if you're just getting out into the market there and you're thinking of starting to date, the blog is there. I put it in the chat box here for this live podcast. Guys, you can go and see it. Before we go, I'm just going to get you to tell us a little bit about this book that we're talking about and to say thank you again for joining us this week, Thursday, again, which is on the 14th of October. And as we celebrate you as the author of the month, tell us a little bit more about the book Blossom Tree. And again, where people can get it, or the details is in the chat box there.
So once again, Blossom Tree is a fiction book, and it's separated into three sections: love, burn, and rise. Now, the three sections, I guess the first section is very much about the dating and getting to know somebody. And it's where my main characters, Chantel and Andre, they find each other, they embark on a relationship with each other, they fall in love, they enjoy each other's company, being around each other, spending time, dating, loving each other. The next section, Burn, my main character has some challenges, and the two main challenges are her health and her relationship. I won't delve too deeply into that, but my main character, and again, this is another way that we're celebrating Black History Month and Black Current Month because we're here. It's very much about Chantel. Now, Chantel has sickle cell disease. And again, it's an illness that affects 15,000 people in the United Kingdom. And it's to do with the flow of oxygen around the blood vessels and around, the blood cells. And so my main character has this. And I really wanted Chantel to portray how it is for somebody who has got the illness that goes through day to day life. Many times we read about different characters, but they don't necessarily have difficulties or challenges with regards to their health. Well, this is real. This is like what actual people with sickle cell go through. So I wanted to talk about that. And I also wanted to talk about the relationship that she has with Andre. Again, like I said, it's a challenge for her. But in the last section, Rise, is where she finds herself again. It's where she finds the strength that she had even before she met Andre, the strength in her character to rise again, to get over these obstacles, to get over these hurdles, and to find a solution in life that makes her happy, find a place for her in life that she's happy. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it's about ending a relationship or it's about moving away, but it's about how you create that happiness within yourself. And that's very much what Blossom Tree, Love, Burn, Rise is about. Once again, you can DM me on Instagram, Ms_Sharona, or my Facebook page, which is Blossom Tree Love. Again, I'm on Facebook. Sharon Fevrier, so you'll be able to find me there. And I'm happy to send a signed copy. So, and a signed copy, and I'll be posting it out for you as well. So just let me know if you want a copy of Blossom Tree. It's a good read, it's fast paced, and if you want something fast paced and it's not all lovey dovey, it is, it's about the strength of the character. And, I would encourage anybody who feels like they want a little uplift, and if they feel that they want some motivation, then Blossom Tree is for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. It's a pleasure to have you here with us, Sharon, tonight. I'm really delighted, and we have people just sharing us up there on Facebook. Somebody said we need to make it public. It is public, and you can actually share it as well. And if you want to join us just for a few minutes before we go, we're running up. That is still okay. The link is just there in the chat conversation there. You can just pop in just to say hi to us. That will be welcome. So thank you very much, Sharon, for joining us again today,
Thank
Thursday
you.
at 7 p.m. Next week, everyone, again, we are going to be back again next week, Thursday, just the same time, 7 p.m. with our author of the month, which is Sharon Fevrier. Fevrier. Yeah?
February. Woo!
So I just want to say a big thank you to the organization, Afro Diaspora Center, that gives us this platform to be able to profile and project positive images of African Caribbean that are sharing their stories within the community, and that are doing marvelous things and leading within the community to be able to share their story. Thanks to those that fund the organization, that are funding our project and supporting us partially in our project, which is the Pobal funding under the Stability Fund, and to the Finger County Council for their Community Enhanced Program that allows us to be able to pay for this broadcast, the internet, to be able to use it and to sustain just some of those little works that we do within the group, the organization. So if you're out there, go and get the book, Blossom Tree. Go and get it. All the details, the link, everything is in the chat box there for you to go and get it. Join us again next week, Thursday at 7 p.m. We will share the link. Go onto our Facebook page group, which is the African Caribbean Author Island. You can find all the information there, and you can watch this again live from the beginning. We love you. We enjoy spending these few minutes or few time with you. So cheers and bye to everyone. It's me again, Susanna or Latin Chikamalafe, on Conversation with Susanna, Afro Caribbean Lifestyle and Achievers. Night, night.